And here's a wonderful comparison where he's kind of bringing this all together. He says, "For you are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burned with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest, and the sound of a trumpet and the voice of words, which voice that they that heard entreated that the word should not be spoken to them." What's he talking about here? Mount Sinai. "For they could not endure that which was commanded. And if so much as a beast touch the mountain, it shall be stoned or thrust through with a dart." Go to Exodus. I think I have Exodus up. Exodus chapter 20. Guys, turn there. And here's what he's talking about. This was right after the Ten Commandments were given. Okay? All the people saw the thunderings. There was Mount Sinai in the desert. Mount Sinai, big mountain. And when they came to that mountain, it was said, the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood far off. They said, "Man, we ain't going there." They never watched a Star Wars movie. They never saw it. Man, this is stuff that the biggest fire they ever saw was maybe like, a fire to cook on. But this thing was smoking, man. It was. And they said to Moses, "You talk to us and we'll hear, but why don't we listen to what God has to say? Man, we hear His voice, we're going to die." I mean, look at this picture. The only one that could go up on that mountain was Moses. It's the only one that God said, if anybody else touches this mountain, don't even let a cow touch this mountain, because he's done. Holy. Don't come here, don't touch me. And Moses said unto the people, "Fear not, for God has come to prove you, test you, try you." This is the children in the wilderness, the children of Israel. He says God wants to find out what you're made of. And it didn't take God long to find out what they were made of. Because about 40 days after this is when that golden calf thing happened. "And that His fear may be before your faces, that you sin not." Man, it was like God was saying, man, look at this. This is me, man. This is holiness. You better not sin. Well, we know that didn't work too well. God gave the law to Moses. He gave him all the commandments. Moses went back up there. He gave him how to build a tabernacle. All that. They couldn't. The people said, "Oh, we'll keep the covenant." 40 days later, they're dancing around a golden calf. Go back to Hebrews. And going back to verse 18. He makes this comparison. "For you are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burned with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest, and the sound of a trumpet and the voice of words, which voice they heard, entreated that the word should not be spoken to them anymore. For they could not endure that which was commanded." We can't endure the law. We can't keep it. "And if so much as a beast touch the mountain, it shall be stoned or thrust through with a dart. And so terrible was the sight that Moses said." Even Moses shook. But it says, "But you," see, here's the better way. "But you are come unto Mount Zion." See, we've come to a different mountain, a better mountain now. "And unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels." It's a whole different picture. Instead of clouds and lightning and earthquake and smoke and fire and darkness, we come to a brilliant, bright place of light. And to Jesus, verse 23, "To the general assembly and church of the firstborn," the ecclesia, the gathering of the firstborn, "which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect," or complete, or whole. How much better? How much nicer? They couldn't handle that law. I couldn't handle the law. But see, I've come to a better place. Not the law, not Mount Zion, not Mount Sinai, but now Mount Zion. I've come to a better place. And here's the main thing, and to Jesus. We've come to Jesus. Not Moses, not the Torah, but we've come to Jesus, the mediator of a new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaks better things than that of Abel. Man, it's so much better. Why would we want to go back? I was talking with somebody, and we were talking about religion. And they were talking about the sacraments and stuff. Why would we want to go back to having to keep the rules and laws and sacraments of men when we got Jesus? Why would I want to go back to where I was? You know, why did these Israelites who were in the wilderness that came to Mount Sinai, they kept wanting to go back to Egypt. God did all kinds of stuff for them, and every time they hit a bump in the road, they said, "Oh, Moses, you just brought us out here to die. We might as well just go back." But we've come to Jesus. We've come to Christ, the mediator of the new covenant, not the old one. And to the blood of sprinkling that speaks better things than that of Abel. And he says this, again, a warning. Oh, brothers and sisters, see that you refuse not him that speaks. He's speaking this to these Jewish Christians. They were still going back to the temple. He said, man, you better listen to what I'm telling you.